Hey, what's up guys? MGH here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm building my halfway point team of the season. Technically, we're not 19 games in, it's 17, but we're pretty much there. I think now is a good time to look back at the first 5 or 6 months of the season and discuss who I think have been the best players so far. Now, I have done my research. I've looked at stats, I've looked at ratings, I've looked at the table and where teams are and where maybe we're seeing teams excel and teams not do so well. But of course, it's still going to be, well, my halfway point team of the season. And you may disagree. You will disagree with certain choices that I make. So what I'm going to do is go through every position for a player in each position and then going to give a backup for each one as well. So basically the best 2 in each position. So we're going to start off with in goal. Very tricky because I've got 3. Okay. In third place, I won't have 3 for every single one, but in third place, I do want to give a special mention to ex-Arsenal player, actually, Leno. I think he's had a very good first half of the season. I think, though, I'm going to go with Vicario. Now, I know Tottenham haven't done so well in the last couple of weeks, but we can't forget just how good he was until then, really. How do I add a substitute? There you go. Substitute. The other one will be Alisson for obvious reasons. Sorry if I spell any of them wrong. Yeah, I think Vicario, just because he's brand new to the league, I think he deserves it. I think Alisson, technically speaking, because he set the bar so high, he still has had an astonishing first half of the season. He's still so good. But because that bar is so high, I kind of wanted to give it to Vicario because he's a newcomer and relatively unknown here in England. So fair play to him. He's been really good. We're going to go into the right-back position now. There's quite a few, but I think for me, it has to be Trent. And you could argue he's not even playing as a right-back so much these days. He's in that right-back role on the team sheet, but he's doing quite a lot of movement into midfield. He's inverting. He's getting a lot of goals. But I think he is still technically a right-back. So I want to give it to Trent. And I think the backup to Trent would be another Tottenham player. I'm going to go with Porro. Pedro Porro. Genuinely, I've been very impressed with him. I don't think he's a very good defender, if I'm honest. Quite similar to Trent. I think both these players are actually better in the second half of the pitch, the offensive half of the pitch. But there's no denying that they've both been very good. So you could argue for either. I'm going to give it to Porro because I don't want Tottenham fans to hate me too much. Right, first centre-back. I really struggled here, and I know what people are going to say. I'm just going to get it over and done with. I'm putting Saliba in there, and I'm not saying he's been the best centre-back, but one of, for sure, because the other one, let me just go over to the other one, is going to be Van Dijk. Let me just do VVD, Virgil van Dijk. I think those 2 have been the best centre-backs this season. I think it's very difficult to argue against that. In terms of the backup options, I'd probably go with Cher. Oh my God. How have I spelt that? Cher from Newcastle. And I would go with... Oh, it's so tough. I was going to put Van der Ven. But I think he's obviously got injured at quite a difficult part. I'm going to go with another Arsenal player just because I want to. I'm going to go with Gabriel. I think there's no doubt that Gabriel and Saliba have been 2 of the best performing centre-backs this season, but not the best. I think Van Dijk is definitely up there, and Cher as well has been fantastic. Now, actually, I'm going to say the toughest position for me was actually left-back. I'm going to go with Udogie. Great start to his Tottenham career. Really impressed with him. The other one is going to be Robinson from Fulham. An absolute athlete. Very good. But Udogie just about gets ahead for me. Yes, you could argue there's a couple of other shouts. I think Mikalenko's been very good for Everton. I would argue that potentially Zinchenko's up there, but not really, especially not defensively. So I think that's my defence. What do you guys think about that so far? Have I got anything wrong? Vicario, Trent, Saliba, Virgil van Dijk, Udogie. I think that's pretty fair. Going into the defensive midfield position, there's only one answer. It is Declan Rice. A lot of people will say I'm just saying that because I'm an Arsenal fan, but no, he has been the best defensive midfielder in the league this season. It's close because there is obviously a certain Rodri. Now, the reason I'm putting Rodri in is just because without him, you see the difference. He may not have played every single game through suspension, but my God, what a player. There are a couple of other shouts, but don't worry, we've got another two midfield positions coming in. But for me, Rice, I know we've paid a lot of money for him, but I almost feel like we should be giving West Ham another 105 million. He's that good. He's genuinely changing our team, and he's getting better every week, which is quite scary. And I think Rodri is just behind. But Rodri is the better player. I'm not saying Rodri's worse than Rice. I'm just saying so far this season, as with all of these positions, these are the best performing players so far. Into the kind of more number 8 role, I'm going to go, maybe some people would disagree that he's not actually a number 8, but I think he can easily do it. I'm going to go with Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa. He's going to be, for sure, linked with many, many teams. You know, Arsenal were linked with him, but I don't think that's going to happen. He isn't... I wouldn't say he's a defensive midfielder because he is so good at going forward as well. He's a very typical Brazilian number 8. He can do everything. He's very, very good. And funny enough, I think behind him, I'm going to go with a fellow Brazilian. I'm going to go with Bruno Guimarães. Bruno G has to be in there as well. I'm just going to move that position over a little bit. Can I even... No, I can't move it. I think Bruno G definitely deserves a shout. He has been very good, although should have been sent off against Arsenal. Just saying. All right, and then into maybe the more attacking central midfield role. I think I might get a little bit of heat for this position. I'm going to go with... Is it 2Ds? Maddison? I've probably spelt that wrong. And just behind him, I'm going to go Szoboszlai. I think Maddison, before his injury, was absolutely incredible. Incredible. And I was watching, and this was at the same time that, as Arsenal fans, we were watching Havertz struggle, and I was so jealous. I cannot explain. I don't think I've ever been that jealous of a signing, actually, especially because it was Tottenham, but I saw Maddison doing things for Tottenham that I wanted him so desperately to be doing for us. And now, obviously, Havertz is picking up a bit, and I feel less. And obviously, because Maddison has been injured. So you could argue that maybe he shouldn't be in the first team because he did get injured at a similar time to Van der Ven. But I couldn't really think of anyone else. I thought about McAllister from Liverpool. Oh, it's so difficult. I'm going to stick with this just because I think Szoboszlai has been brilliant as well. Did you know he's clocked the fastest speed in the Premier League this season, I believe? For a central midfielder, that's very good. So now we're moving over to this right side. I'm going to go with Saka. And behind him, Salah. Now, the only reason I'm putting Saka ahead of Salah is because, similar to the Alisson debate, I think that they've set the bar so high. Like, Salah is not having his best season for Liverpool, but he's still having an incredible season, better than most wingers. He is arguably still this season playing the best. Would you say he's done better than Saka? You could argue, goals-wise. But what Saka is doing, carrying Arsenal like he is, and at his age, I think, and an Arsenal fan, he has to be in there for me as the best right winger so far this season. And actually, if you look at the Premier League statistics, I've been using whoscored.com. Saka is the highest rated player in that right wing position. He is ahead of Salah. Just going to go with it, okay? Over on the left side... See, I think, again, people might disagree with me here because he hasn't been playing there, but I have to get him into the team somehow. I'm going to go with Heung-min Son and then Doku. Oh, I swear, if I've missed someone, I'm going to be so upset because I'm trying so hard to make sure I include everyone. And by the way, I haven't been able to get in Diaby from Aston Villa. I haven't been able to get in... Who else am I missing? Oh, there was another player I really wanted to get in, but I can't remember right now, but Doku definitely deserves a shout. But Son, even though he's been playing as a striker, we know he can easily play on the left as well. He's arguably been the best this season, but there's a reason why I haven't included him as the striker. Let me go ahead and put my striker in now. That is going to be Watkins. I think that's more than deserved. And as the backup, it would be Bowen for me. I think Bowen deserves a shout. I think he's been incredible. I'm missing out Kudus. That was the other player. Kudus has been incredible. But I think Watkins has probably been the best striker along with Heung-min Son. If I was playing a 4-4-2, they'd both be up front. And I'd put Doku on the left. Who would I take out? Maddison for that. Is this the best team? Is this the best halfway point team of the season? I would love to know your thoughts. The comments are there for a reason. There's a lot of bots on YouTube. It's become a bit of a mess, which is why I tend to rely on Twitter or X and Discord. But for this video, just put your 11. I'd love to know how different yours is from mine. And let's see if we can maybe come together with a community team of the season halfway point so far. I don't think I would change anything from here. The only one I'm still a little bit unsure about is Maddison because of the injury and how he hasn't played every game. But you can't deny it. He was incredible. He was so, so good. Vicario instead of Alisson, I guess, is a bit of a debate. Should Saliba be in there? I still think so. Maybe Gabriel shouldn't. Is Gabriel top 4? Maybe we should have had someone else in there. But I am happy with it. And by the way, you probably would have noticed my finger looks a little bit different at the moment. It's worse than first thought. I've got what they call a swan problem. My finger looks like a swan when I don't have any splints on. So I've now got to wear 2 splints to hold it in this position. It's a bit of a mess. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Get your comments down below and I will see you next time.